followed by Tim McRoberts.
Dear members of the House Education Committee, first, thank you for hearing this bill, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to testify in support of high-quality pre-K expansion in the state of Indiana. My name is Dr. Tony GiaQuinta. I'm a pediatrician for Hendricks Regional Hospital and the Vice President of the Indiana chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics. We represent over 800 Hoosier pediatricians. I'm very proud of these credentials, but by far my favorite credential is the father of 2 children, Margaret H2 and her 4-year-old brother Henry. I'm here today on behalf of Indiana's pediatricians to talk about a 4-year-old's brain and endorse an expansion of Indiana's high-quality pre-K commitment. Our organization's support is limited to funding pre-K. We are not here to either endorse nor criticize the school choice voucher system, which it was attached to this bill, as these are 2 separate issues. We would prefer pre-K be allowed to stand on its own so that all sides can get behind this important issue. You may be wondering why Indiana's pediatricians would support an education bill. Well, the truth is that Indiana's pediatricians know that House Bill 1004 is so much more than an education bill. It is a bill that can protect and nurture Indiana's most vulnerable brains. And this is something that I don't think has been emphasized yet. You see, brain plasticity, or the ability of the brain to rewire itself in response to changes in the environment, declines with age. In fact, by age 5, the vast majority of a child's brain capacity is already developed. This creates a real make it or break it time frame when areas of the brain supporting memory and learning can inextricably connect to the areas supporting social, emotional, and language development. If these connections are not formed by the time they reach kindergarten, they likely never will. Conversely, when the environmental fosters in interactions that are sensitive and responsive to the child's needs, neuronal connections are formed and reinforced that help the brain mature and allow the child to succeed. Unfortunately, there is a large population of Hoosier children that are at grave risk of missing this important opportunity forever. Specifically, this applies to those 27,000 low-income 4-year-old Hoosier children that are at increased risk of suffering from toxic stress. Toxic stress is the physiologic maladaptation of the brain and body to poverty and violence. Young brains exposed to toxic stress are unable to form those healthy connections between important brain structures. This disrupted brain architecture has significant adverse effects on physical, social, and emotional health across the lifespan. And we see this in health outcomes of children exposed to extreme toxic stress. They have increased coronary artery disease, increased diabetes, increased risk of stroke, increased risk of depression, and even some cancers. High-quality pre-K, however, will rescue those children from toxic stress by providing a secure, nurturing environment and strengthen healthy neuronal connections and setting a strong foundation for learning and adult success. My 4-year-old son, Henry, is lucky. He is in a high-quality pre-K program, and the only stress he faces is getting his shoes on the right feet. Every day, he comes home from school with a full belly and a brain further exposed to positive, stable, and nurturing influences that reinforce integral connections to his brain. He has every opportunity to succeed. For 27,000 low-income 4-year-old Hoosier children, however, their toxic stresses and adverse experiences may see the window of their brain's development and the window of opportunity for success closed forever. Indiana's pediatricians recognize that we are critical partners in this effort to keep children on the right track. And that partnership includes calling on our state's leaders to recognize the importance of pre-K and sufficiently fund it to increase access to our state's most vulnerable children. On behalf of Indiana's pediatricians, we hope that House Bill 1004 is the feel-good, everyone wins success story of the legislative session. By investing in high-quality pre-K and fulfilling a young child's developmental needs, the long-term benefit is not only the child, but their children, their community, and our commonwealth. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. GiaQuinta. Tim McRoberts.